Okay, I just had a couple of questions, and I'll try to make this as quickly as possible. So, first off, I love this design. I love how easy it was to create these menus. But when I click on sports camps, okay, you can see here that we have the Greensboro Grasshoppers, the Spears YMCA. And you can see how obviously, there's the YMCA. And on this map, there's the Greensboro Grasshoppers. So it has separated it out perfectly. No problems there. Where I'm having the problem is when I go to the actual listing to find the information, and my maps and info are not showing up. And when I do put the right address, normally, for example, if I was to put the address, say, for the Grasshoppers, okay, in this, and I publish it, okay, so everything looks fine there so far. Okay, happy with that. But when I go back, let me make sure that was published again, sorry. But when I go back to, get back on the site, go back to sports camps, and now I click on, again, you can still see how they're separated. There's the YMCA with their address. There's Greensboro Grasshoppers with their address. But when I click on Spears listing, why does this continue to show up as the baseball field? In other words, I'm having trouble separating these maps from one another. Once I plug in a map, it just stays with every listing that I have. Let me just go back to the dashboard real fast. And I know that you guys, I've talked to Bluehost, we've talked about my password information. Everything was correct that I gave you. So I don't know why you guys are having trouble getting in to my hosting site, which leads you into the WordPress site. But for example, if we just go, I'm just going to go a couple of different places here. Here's my map listings. And just take a look at this page. Just make sure that I've got everything. So I've got my Google Map API. No problems there. What we'll do is we'll go to Appearance. We'll go to the widgets. And here's my default sidebar. Here's my listing sidebar. And the same thing goes when I edit the page and put in my social icons. Well, whichever one I do first, it only lists for that business. So in other words, if I did one for the Grasshoppers, on all of my listings, it lists the same thing. So I know what you're probably saying is that, and this is what confuses me about your site, is that let's just say I go back to sports camps and I go to Spears and I hit this edit button. So I'm assuming that I am editing this page. I go here. Hey, that's a different address than, the baseball field. The other thing here, I don't like how these questions run into Twitter, but these are all filled out. These Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter posts are all filled out. This part works fine. The feature image works fine. I've got my, the gallery up top. So if I update and preview, it's still the First National Bank field. So maybe I'm stupid, but what am I doing wrong that's not allowing me for each listing to have its own separate map. So it looks like once I plug in one map, it's for all of the listings. So sorry for the long message, but I need to get this done. So if you guys can kind of give me a quick tutorial on how to do the maps, how to do it separately, and also creating a few more categories up here. Luckily, I was able to do this, but I'm not getting all the categories that were in that default sidebar, and they're not showing up for the exception of these. So anyway, hopefully this helps since you can't get into the site. But anyway, if you give me some information or give me directions on where can I find information about how to install these maps for each listing, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.